I'm Gabby with Cooking with the Cullinans, and today we are going to make jalapeno bagels. They are so delicious. I do have another video. It's one of the first ones that I did. I'm sorry it's really long. It's about 30 minutes, but it does go into depth about how to make sourdough bagels. So these are the sourdough jalapeno bagels, and today we are going to actually have them with this herb cream cheese dip and spread. I also have a video for this recipe too. All right, if you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up. Most importantly, leave me a comment, let me know whether you liked it or not, and here we go. These are the items that you are going to need to make jalapeno bagels. So I have my 300 grams of sourdough starter. It is bubbly, active, and ready to go. I have 500 grams of water that is between 60 and 85 degrees. I recommend using bottled water or filtered water, unless you're lucky enough to have well water. You're going to use 1,000 grams of flour. I have used bread flour. I've also used a 50-50 mixture of bread flour and all-purpose flour. I find for this recipe, the all-purpose flour works really well. I have 48 grams of sugar. I have 20 grams of fine salt. You could use sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. I also have the star of the show right here, some dehydrated jalapenos. I want mine to have a little spice to them, so I have used some dehydrated jalapenos that still have the seeds and membranes in them, and I've mixed them in with some jalapenos that do not, and I've just chopped them up. If you are interested, I do have a video of how to dehydrate these jalapenos. The other thing that you will need is a baking sheet. You'll need about 4 of them, lined with parchment paper, and you're going to spray those with a non-stick cooking spray. You're also going to need a towel that is damp, and that is for the next step. One last item that comes in super handy is a kitchen scale. You don't need one that's super fancy, but when you're weighing everything out, it's super accurate, and it's just really nice to have one. All right, let's get started. All right, I'm going to start to make the dough I'm going to mix in the water. I'm using a wooden spoon. Eventually, I may get to the point where I'll use my hands when I'm mixing all of the dough together, but here's the water. I'm going to go ahead and add in all of the flour, sprinkle the sugar on the top, and the salt, and then I'm going to mix this all together. Once I get it all well combined, I'm going to add in those jalapenos. I have now mixed all of the ingredients together, and this is what your dough should look like right now. It's very shaggy looking, and that is perfect. The only thing you're looking for is to be sure that there aren't a lot of dry spots in there, or there aren't any dry spots in there, but it should look really shaggy, just like this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this damp towel on there. I'm gonna let it rest for 1 hour. When you're choosing a location, it shouldn't be underneath of a fan or underneath of an air conditioning vent. So I'll see you in an hour. The dough has been resting for an hour, and this is what it looks like. So you can see already that it's not quite as shaggy. We're gonna go ahead and smooth it into more of a ball, and this should really just take about 1 minute, and all you're gonna do is just kind of keep kneading it over, and you'll see it gets to be much smoother. Once you're done with that process, you're going to go ahead and cover it up with a piece of plastic wrap, and you want to be sure that you coat that plastic wrap with a non-stick cooking spray. The last thing I do once it's in the bowl and it is covered up with that non-stick cooking spray is I take a picture of it, because we want to let it rise. This is called the second rise. we want to let it rise until it doubles in size. So according to the humidity and the temperature in your house, it's probably going to take between 6 and 12 hours. So I'll see you when this has doubled in size. The dough has now been doing its second rise for 6 hours. So it has doubled in size. It smells really good. So the next couple of steps, we're going to divide this out and begin to shape the bagels. You are also going to need a good sized stock pot that you'll be able to boil the bagels in. You'll need a pair of either tongs or some sort of an instrument to flip the bagels over and get them out of the boiling water. And you will also need a tablespoon of honey or maple syrup works as well. So at the previous step, once all of the dough is risen for that 6 hours or so and it's doubled in size, if you don't have time or you don't want to make the bagels at that point in time in the day, you can put the dough in the refrigerator and let it rest in there overnight. If you choose that method, when you bring the dough out, you want to wait a good hour before you start this process of actually shaping and making the bagels. So I've turned out the dough. I have gone ahead and cut it into 16 pieces and I've started to shape the dough. So what you do is you take one of these pieces, put the corners in just like this, and then you're going to roll them in your hand like so until all of those little edges are smooth and inside the dough ball. You're going to put those on your sheets, your parchment sheets that have been sprayed with the non-stick cooking spray. And we're going to go ahead and let these rest for 15 minutes. Now that the dough has been resting for 15 minutes, the next step is to turn these little balls of dough into the shape of a bagel. So you're going to go ahead and push your 2 thumbs right through the center of the ball of dough, and then you're just going to kind of work it just like this by smoothing out the inside and making a bagel shape just like this. You're going to then put them on the parchment paper that is greased. You're going to take a damp towel and you are going to cover them up for 20 minutes. While they are rising during this 20 minutes, you're going to preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And you are also going to get that large stock pot filled with water and you're going to get that boiling. Once it's boiling, you're going to add in the tablespoon of honey and stir it really well. All right, the 20 minutes has passed. As you can see, the water with the honey is boiling. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a couple of bagels, and it will really just depend on how large your pot is. I'm going to set a timer for 30 seconds. And they are going to spend 30 seconds on each side. Once the 30 seconds comes and I'll flip them over at the minute mark when they're done, I'm going to put them back on the parchment paper and get ready to bake them. By the way, your bagels should float to the top just like this one has. They're actually all coming up to the top now. If they don't, you just give them a quick little nudge and they will float right on up to the top. Okay, so now that the bagels have been boiling and they've boiled on both sides, this is what they look like. They're getting ready to go in the 425 degree preheated oven. They're going to bake in there for 20 minutes to start out with. The last minute, so 21 minutes, the last minute, I'm going to flip them over just so they get nice and golden brown on the top as well. If you're baking 2 trays at one time, have one of them on the bottom and one on the top and switch them at the 10-minute mark. I'll see you when the bagels are done. All right, so here are the bagels fresh out of the oven. They smell so good. Jalapeno bagels. I can't wait to try them. I am gonna give this a little bit of a try with this herb cream cheese dip and spread. Of course, you know I have a video for that too. And I'm thinking this will be such a great pairing with the spiciness of the jalapeno. You can see how fresh this bagel is. It's still steaming. Oh my gosh, so good. Love the jalapeno. Remember, I left the seeds and membranes in because I wanted them a little extra hot. They are. Love them. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Come and see us again for the next one. And remember, the comments, the first comment is a recipe. See you soon. Bye.